SE Live. Stream Elements Live is what I'm doing that through. So I have TikTok chat, I have Twitch chat, multi-chat, Elements Control, media request. I just set everything up back through the stream again. So we're back up in the stream. Can you hear me in the stream again? Okay. Can you hear Vito? Vito, you make me laugh. No, you're not being punished, I promise. I'm being punished. Right. So I'm using SE Live for the streaming in oh, you heard him laughing, so YouTube can hear you. But I don't think TikTok can hear you. Stacked and balance. I'm going to have Vito talk for a second. Can you let me know if you hear anybody talking? Go ahead, Vito. That was perfect. He just said, "What do you want me to say?" Did anybody hear him? Yeah, YouTube hears him. They said he's laughing. So yeah, they hear him on YouTube. Something to do with TikTok. Okay. So if everybody on TikTok. Correct. And right now I don't have anything in my OBS that's picking up. I don't have anything in OBS here in my sources. So my sources do not include anything. And what I did before to make it work was I created this audio input. And then I just typed in Discord and I hit OK. And then I was able to click Discord from this drop down menu. But it's not in there anymore. It was chat is what it was. But my chat's gone now for whatever reason. It's not even showing up anymore.
Try so.
Yeah, yours is going on the desktop audio when you speak, and then mine's going in the global when I speak. I'm not listening to you. Okay, so I just got Discord on there.
Let's see here.
The mix, I just picked up the mix. So now can anybody...
Came back, but now I can hear myself and I can hear Vito. Interesting.
But there's still an echo?
Yeah, it's not like it's an obnoxious echo, but it's definitely there.
Oh, that's rude. Okay, so now how do I delete the echo? And YouTube is saying that there's an echo now too.
Abe!
How about now? Is there an echo anymore? Can anybody even hear me?
Try going to your OBS. Get your audio mixer.
Okay, nobody was able to hear me there. Never mind with that. That didn't work. Okay, so if I go into OBS...
Audio monitoring off. It should...
Maybe you guys can fix this for 9:30 in the morning.
All right. So I need to go back.
The Discord goes to the stream, but the OBS doesn't send it back to your actual listening device, which is the monitor that you're on.
So I need to go into my monitoring, which would be here. So here's my monitoring.
All right, call me.
Wait.
Whatever,
Uh,
Paul. Yeah, whatever.
Wait, I think we got it working. There's no echo. I can hear me and Vito.
Can you hear me still? Is there an echo with me?
Yep, I can hear you. I can hear Vito. I can hear myself.
Oh,
Oh,
beautiful.
Michael, what are you doing, buddy?
Well, then I
There's
think
no
it
echo.
works.
We got it working. Nice.
Okay, beautiful. Well, sorry about that, everybody, for the technical difficulties there. I do have Vito with us.
You fixed it?
Yep, it's working.
It's working.
Oh,
Beautiful.
okay. I gotta go. I gotta go now.
Oh, you got to go now?
I'm just kidding.
Don't do that to me. That wasn't very neighborly. All right, so
I thought that was funny.
it was hilarious. It made me laugh. Thanks for the joke. I appreciate it. Great dad joke. So
Ah!
It brightened the mood a little bit.
yeah, absolutely right. And a little icebreaker. So I just wanted to let everybody know that I have a couple special guests on the stream today. And one of them is a former floor pit trader in the oil markets in the New York Merc Exchange back in the early 90s. His name is DJ Vito is his handle in YouTube on TikTok. His name is Vito. I've been talking to him off and on for the last month or so. He came to me through the stream here. Extremely knowledgeable and extremely
Oh my god!
amazing trader. And so having him here is an absolute joy for me. And I really want to just spend a couple minutes and just let him introduce himself in his own words, talk to you a little bit about his experience, where he's come from, and then we're going to get his knowledge a bit and pick his brain a little bit when it comes into trading and what he is doing and how he sets everything up. So Vito, welcome first and foremost, and thank you so much for being here, being on the stream, and spending this time with me today. And so, please, by all means, if you had a chance, tell me a few of your stories and a few of the other things being on the exchange. I'm going to turn it over to you and let you talk for a few minutes about who you are and what you do and what you want to do here.
Okay, I would like to make a point first. Nothing has really changed except now everything now is computerized, and the internet has brainwashed everybody to look at small time frames. Do you know why volume is called volume?
Why?
Because when the pits got loud, there was a lot of volume, and once they went electronic, they just called it volume.
That
Little
makes
things
sense.
like that. Yeah, little things like that. This goes to show that nothing has changed. When the volume picked up in the pit and you were in the pit, you go running there, right? Something's happening. So I know it's a stupid example, but just to point out how things really hasn't changed. I did a little research since 1792 when the Buttonwood Agreement was signed. This is how long there's been trading in New York on Wall Street. They actually signed it in the street on Wall Street back then.
What year
The
was that?
unfair advantage, 1792, I believe. Buttonwood Agreement.
Yep.
Okay. You basically, the only thing we can do is follow the big money. I'm not going to move the market with my orders. If all of us together take a long or short together, we're not going to move the market at all. We just need to know where the big money is sitting. And it's a very repetitive process. There's no one magic indicator. It does not exist. It doesn't exist. Okay. You have to know where you are on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, on a yearly basis. I'll give you an example. I have multiple accounts. So I have two of them that I use for day trading, and I have one that I use for swinging. Okay. And I always say you need to know where you are in the charts at all times. Always, always, always know where you are. Let me just find this level real quick. Give me a second. What day it was on? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Come on now. Hold on, let me go to my bigger charts. Okay. On Monday, NQ failed to break out above the breakout level on a monthly basis. And it failed. And ever since that day, we've been coming down. I believe today we might have found bottom on a monthly basis. But again, it's just knowing where you are on the chart. And this monthly level that I'm speaking to you of, it's not something that I created or I had some algo built for me or AI did for me. It's stuff that I was taught in 1991, and it's still being used. And prior to computers, brokerage houses would hire people from MIT to calculate all these areas. And that's really it. That's what the big money looks for. They look for key levels, and you'll have, I don't know, you have Barclays and JP Morgan maybe battling. Maybe someone wants to defend the short, maybe somebody wants to defend the long, but eventually one of them are going to give up. And then it's going to go in the direction of the person that's of the firm that stayed in there. It's just that simple. The key point is knowing where you are on the charts at all times. I mean, that's a bigger time frame move. But like I was trying to explain to you guys earlier when we had the technical difficulties, for day trading, forget about the London session high and low, and the Hong Kong high and low, or Singapore, whatever everyone looks at. Just group the entire overnight session. So today, when we were below the overnight session on a 15-minute chart, we were consolidating for about 40 minutes as the overnight lows. And I guess someone wanted to defend that area, and they won. I did take the long. I got out a little too soon, but that's okay. You still hear me?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just listening.
Oh, okay. Again, if you're gonna live on a 1 minute time frame, I've heard people on TikTok saying they're looking at the 30 second chart. That's madness. I see. Oh, I'm going long here, and if you just look at the hourly time frame chart, you wouldn't even consider taking a long in that spot because it's just a big doji candle. But they're not looking at that. It's something that simple. Because you're so fixated on a small time frame. If you just took a second to take a look at the hourly or take a look at the daily candle, same thing. The daily candle is extremely bearish. Why are you looking for a long? Keep selling the rips until otherwise. Right?
Now,
It's just that simple.
you're talking about key areas, and to understand where the large money is coming in and looking at key areas for that. Can you describe what you're looking at in the context of those key areas?
Yeah. There was also an area of structure. Okay. If you can pull up a daily time frame of NQ and just share it, a nice clean chart, a daily chart with no indicators, no lines, and I'll pull you right to that daily structure. Let me know when you're ready.
It's up.
Okay.
Let me know how much data you want.
Look at Monday, June 22nd. Pretty much a indecision candle, and that's where the big sell-off started. Right?
Right. Yep, right here.
Okay.
Yep.
So the bottom of that wick, believe it or not, is an area of structure. without going into great details, because it's not something I can just explain to you here in 5 minutes. But anyway, that wick low is an area of structure. Now, if you just put a line on the bottom of that wick and look at Monday or Sunday night when it hit it, look what happened. Now, just look at the daily chart from that level. And I actually posted this level on TikTok. I guarantee you, nobody took it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just wicked it for a few ticks, and then it's been falling ever since
Now,
on a daily time frame.
now, everybody watching, I want you to understand something here, right? So when he was talking to me about this, I only had the U.S. session up. So when I put in the Globex session, the Asia, the London with the U.S., right? What he was talking about here in this candle on the 22nd, the low, we came right up into that Monday. We rejected that area, and we've been trading down ever since. And so when he's talking about areas of interest of where you would expect big money to come into the market, this is what he's talking about. Go ahead, V.
Right. Then there's also another area of structure. If you put a line on your chart so everyone can see, Friday, July 10th, on a daily chart, just put a line on the top of the wick high. And now, once you have that line on there, take a look at the charts and digest what happened on Tuesday.
So on Tuesday, we came right back up to that line. We tested into the bar on Monday, into the low. We did get through the open, but we came back down through the open of the bar on Tuesday, which basically opened up on that line and just immediately started trading down and traded down the rest of the day.
Right. So if you're short on Monday and you see that on Tuesday, would you get out?
Oh no.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's my point.
And so if we were in at that higher level at the 3. If you're in that higher level, that 329, and you're in from up there, Tuesday opens, and immediately it doesn't go really that far up at all. Price action comes right back down again, and you're holding. I mean, you're already at that point in time, if you hold into the close from 321 down to 536, I'm 500 points, you're pretty happy. And you could do that on an intraday position, even through prop firms.
Yeah, you can. You can. Absolutely. And then also, I don't know if you have the ability of doing it. Yesterday and today, it's been fiddling with the monthly VWAP. Today, it finally broke it and broke down hard off the monthly VWAP.
Now, one of the other things that you talked to me about is don't fiddle in the middle. And you have mentioned that to me multiple times because I'm pretty sure that you watch me sometimes fiddle in the middle and you're probably sitting back like, what is this guy doing?
It's hard to watch.
I appreciate the honesty so much. And everybody just, too, we're talking to Vito right now, but Jew is also on as well. Another trader. I just had the privilege of talking to him today. He came into the call as well. He's helped me out with some of the technical issues I was facing as well. So we've got him on here too. Now, when you're saying don't fiddle in the middle, you're talking about this right here, aren't you?
Let me see if I can.
I just put two yellow like an X between those two lines on TikTok.
Hold on, let me. How do I get back there now?
So now you're having technical difficulties.
Oh, it actually took me back to my Discord. Shit. Hold on.
You could share your screen on the stage, which will be easier for Vito.
Oh, that's a very good point.
I don't see anything. I'm speaking, but I don't see anything on live discussion. Click that. No.
Let's see here. I need to get.
If it's not a trading platform, I'm not that good with computers.
Okay, so let me get back into.
Oh, okay, I'm here. I'm back in. Okay.
Oh, okay. So when you're saying,
how do I see your screen though?
so see my screen, I've got to get back into the voice. So hold on a second. So here we go. And now I'm going to turn around and share my screen in here. To do that,
You should see it on the bottom left or the very bottom.
oh yeah, it just says share screen. Beautiful. Well, isn't that easy? And I think it's this. Which chart is it that I need? I believe it's this one. There we go.
Something's happening. Oh, there you go.
There we go. Beautiful.
Excellent. Yep. Okay, perfect. Now I can see it. Yep.
So
what I'm pointing out right here, right now. See, would you put a little trend line on there?
Yeah, I put two little X's on there, saying that this is the middle. This is the middle where you're saying don't fiddle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But also, this is a daily chart?
Yeah, this is a daily.
Oh, okay. Yep. But as you can see, I'm interpreting the chart, and those lines I'm asking you to put on the chart, that's understanding market structure, which is a piece of the puzzle. It's not the be all of everything, right?
Absolutely.
That's just a piece of the puzzle. So again, when people depend on indicators and people buy bots, I have a friend of mine, his name is Vincent. Just to give you an idea what type of person he is, if we're waiting online and the person says, okay, from where you're standing, it's going to take 2 hours for you to get to the front, he would spend 4 hours trying to figure out how to cut the line. That's just the way he is. And I tried to teach him, but he didn't want to learn. So he bought a bot for $10,000. And then he lost $12,000 with the bot. you know, this is a skill you have to learn. You have to learn it.
Absolutely.
You know, no matter what comes out. My theory on AI is this: AI has to be programmed by a human being, or is going to be fed decades of charts, right? And it's going to try to figure out what the best entries are. And it goes right back to what I'm looking at, back to not what I'm looking at, back to what I was taught. And the people that taught me were from the 50s and 60s. And the people that taught them were from the 20s and 30s. And the people that taught them were from the 1800s. You understand the evolution, how nothing has changed?
Absolutely.
And there's a book called the Dow Theory, like Dow Jones, but it's called Dow Theory. It was published either in the 1920s or the 1930s. Everyone should get that book.
Hope everybody heard
What's
that.
What's in that book still applies to today. And when they were trading on the floors with a chalkboard, nothing has changed. They were using high-low close divided by 3 to figure out where the daily equilibrium is. Hasn't changed. It's still the same process, just that now you have computers that do everything for you. Prior to TradingView, I had all kinds of spreadsheets to figure out daily equilibrium, the buy-sell reversals, key pivot points. But now, TradingView does everything for me. It's so much easier. You just turn on the computer, see what's going on, and it's done. But nothing has changed. It's just automated now. It'll do it for you, right? That's it.
Would you just say that the amount of time that you have to spend to find your areas has reduced significantly because you turn your computer on and then they're already there, but the what you do in terms of those areas is still the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same exact process. So the key value that has to be used in any type of buy-sell reversal, key level, it is high-low close. That is the key value, and it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed since the 1800s. It has not changed.
And you said the high-low close divided by 3, correct?
Yeah, that's for daily equilibrium. There's high-low close, and you divide the previous day's high to it. That's a different level. I mean, I could go on and on for hours. You know what I mean? So don't take what I'm saying and make it your be-all, and you're not going to look at anything else because, again, high-low close divided by 3 is daily equilibrium. That works until otherwise, right?
Everything works until otherwise.
Sometimes you can see that level is just not going to hold. It's either going to blast through it to the upside or blast through it to the downside, right? Robert Dunn, may he rest in peace. He taught me everything about CPR, and his theory was real simple. If we are below daily equilibrium and we are below previous day's close, look for shorting opportunities until otherwise. And guess what? He's 80% right. But that's only for day trading.
And when you're looking at the daily equilibrium, you're really looking at that daily pivot point, correct?
Yeah, it's high-low close divided by 3.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Yeah. Keep it simple. You know, don't turn it into a science project because everyone that does always fails and fails hard.
Makes sense.
Just know that's daily equilibrium, and the Mr. Dunn theory, may you rest in peace again, is if we are below daily equilibrium and we are below the previous day's close, sell the rips. If you're above daily equilibrium and you're above the previous day's close, buy the dips. See how simple that is? This guy was a partner in the Chicago White Sox from doing this stuff. So I never questioned what he taught me. I never tried to improve upon it. I just took it verbatim and ran with it. And I haven't changed it since I think I met him in 93. Yeah, I met him in 93. And guess what? He was a Chicago kid, like me, with a high school education. He went into the pits late 60s or early 70s. Someone took a liking to him, like they took a liking to me, and they taught him. This is why he's a great trader, because a great trader taught him. and on and on and on. Believe me, AI is not going to change the market.
So you're saying then is AI isn't going to turn around and give us the holy grail and everybody's going to get rich in trading?
No,
that's rude.
No, it's you know, and again, which AI bot are you going to buy? If you're going to get an AI bot that looks at all the levels that I look at and what the people that used to be on the floors look at and what the floor manager at JP Morgan looks at, you know how much that bot's going to cost you? 8 figures.
Easy.
Yeah. You're not gonna buy that on some YouTube guy or TikTok guy. They're not gonna have access to that stuff.
Of course not.
Yeah. I have a friend of mine that actually has a server. He's from Ukraine, very, very computer literate. He made all kinds of apps for Apple and Android phones. He made a fortune. I gave him my entire book on trading. He ran it through his server. He could not create a bot to emulate what I'm doing. It just would not work. It just would not work. I'm sure eventually you'll get there, but we're not going to get it for $10,000. Believe me.
Yeah, absolutely. What was that, Jew?
I was asking Vito. You said this was a young guy that you bestowed this knowledge and you try to make a bot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see that's the issue with my generation. They're lazy. They like have built-in sloth and they don't want to get their hands dirty. They don't want to study. They don't want to put in the real work, so they run to AI immediately.
Exactly. People tell me, "Oh my God, you sit in front of the computers all day. When are you going to get a life?" One person, my brother-in-law, when he came by and he told me that, I was like, "Come here, I want to show you something." I opened up my P&L, and all you saw was eyeballs and his chin hit my desk. Okay, that's not to brag or boast, but people don't get why I'm sitting here from 4:35 in the morning, sometimes all the way up to the close. Sometimes I just trade from my phone. I'm out and about.
Right.
Any posts you see of my trades on TikTok, you'll see the navigation on the side of the screen because I'm out and about. That's also the beauty of TradingView. Their mobile app is a duplicate of your app on your PC. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So whatever levels you have set up, whatever indicators, templates you have set up, do it right from your phone. It's unbelievable.
And it can alert you right there on your phone too, correct? For your levels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can.
When I have key levels, I actually set the alert on a 2-minute chart. So every 2 minutes, it'll keep banging. If you set it on a daily chart, it's only going to bang once.
I love it. I love it.
You know how many times I'm at a wedding and it's a Sunday night, and it's getting close to 6 p.m. All right, guys, excuse me, I'll be right back. And I'll go either outside, have a cigarette, go in the lobby, and see what the market's going to do. I'm not going to miss out on an opportunity. Now it's gotten to the point where Vito's going. Let's follow him.
I can see my future, and it looks very bright. The only difference is I won't have a cigarette. I'll just have a blunt.
Oh, I'm about to do that right now, buddy. I don't want to say anything. My son made a big mistake. He went to Florida today. We have a condo down there, so him and his girlfriend went down there, and he left his jar behind. Oh well.
That's awesome.
But
Where's your condo at, Vito?
I'm sorry.
We're in Florida. What area is your condo in? I have one in St. Pete.
Oh, I have in Port St. Lucie.
Okay.
Yeah. My wife's family's all down there, so it just made sense to buy something in that area.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It might be a little bit outside of Port St. Lucie. I don't know Florida that well. I cannot go to Florida this time of the year because you take a shower, you go outside, in 3 minutes you're full of sweat. You're really disgusting.
Absolutely.
So, I only go there during the winter.
I hear you. Now, when you're talking about these areas, right? And I think a lot of individuals are going to be like, okay, well, you know what? But how?
I don't mean to cut you off, but these levels, what's the key part of it is that you'll hear people say, "Oh, I have the best gold indicator. Oh, I have the best crypto indicator. Oh, I have the best this indicator." Bullshit. My levels will work with stocks. My son uses it for options, and he knows where he is on the chart, and he'll take an option that's out a month or two, and he does pretty well. He doesn't want to sit in front of the screens all day. He'll use options on stocks. Guess what he did on Sunday night? He shorted all the high-flying internet stocks, and he's still in with his option.
That's outstanding.
But he knows. He knows what to look for. And another thing is too, you have to embrace your losses. When you get stopped out, you have to look at it and say, all right, it's just another trade. You know, when I hear people saying, "Oh, my win rate is 80%," oh, I would love to meet this person that has an 80% win rate. Why aren't you working for JP Morgan? Right?
Absolutely.
Sure. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Now, we spoke about it numerous times.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Jeter made it to the Hall of Fame with a 30% average.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You have to be the best loser possible when you're in a losing trade. You want to lose at the right spot. You want to lose as little as possible, and that's what's going to separate you from everyone else. And I know I've told you, but if you're looking to get a job as a trader at a major institution, they're not going to look at your winners. They're going to look at your losers. Oh, I made $1 million last year, but at one point you're up $5 million. You suck. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Now, hey, KG team, is there still a echo in the stream?
Jew, where you from?
Queens, New York City.
No way. I'm originally a Bensonhurst boy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
You can't tell?
No, I heard the accent earlier, and then yeah, he mentioned it earlier
Right.
that I think you were from, or I saw it in the comments a while back when I joined. Yeah.
So there's,
and that's why I'm just like,
Huh.
it's just like,
Yeah.
it's like when you talk, I think about it, it sounds like I can do nothing but just smile. Just my heart is resonating with your words.
I'm sorry, can you say that again? I barely heard you.
I was saying when you explain things, and it's just my heart resonates with your words, and it's just everything that you explain is like it's just flowing in my brain like butter.
Right. Good. Yeah, if you find a key level, like I pointed out on the daily time frame for the Sunday night entry, and it lines up with a 4-hour, 8-hour, hourly. Once you see all that confluence, and you see you're by a monthly level, or quarterly level, yearly level, weekly level, whatever it may be, there's your confluence. Just take the trade. You know, it goes green above 10, 15 points, and you're looking for a short, you get out. You can always get back in. I don't hold anything past 15, 20 points. I'm out. I'll jump right back in. I don't care. But I'm definitely not holding for 50, 100 points. I see some people on TikTok. Yeah, my stop is usually between 50 and 100 points. What? You want to catch a trade that big? Not for a stop loss.
what is your average stop?
Depend on how confident I am in the trade. It'll be anywhere from 15 to 20. If I feel it's a real good swing opportunity, I might go to 50, but very rarely. But sometimes you have to give it room. But you know, you don't want to have multiple minis on and you're sleeping and don't have a stop. You can wake up to for sale signs on your house.
Absolutely.
100%.
And so when you talk about confluence, and I apologize, everybody, that when I'm speaking, there's still an echo. We kind of did this on the fly, and I'm kind of figuring out the technology as we go. And so I do apologize if there's an echo. I'm going to keep my voice out of the equation as much as possible. But Vito, when you talk, thanks, Vito.
No problem.
When you talk about confluence, what you're talking about is time frame confluence. And so we had Jacob on. He had a question regarding fibs, and you said you can trade fibs with confluence. Do you mean putting fibs on multiple time frames and having that confluence within the fib levels?
Well, okay. Like I told you today where I got short, right? Now, mind you, I'm still short from Sunday. I have multiple accounts. I don't use prop firms, right? So I can do a lot of stuff that a lot of people on props can't do. And again, that's an unfair advantage too, right? But I fibbed the entire daily candle from the top to the bottom today. It retraced back up. It came up to 50% of the range at that time, because now the range got bigger, obviously. But at that time, it came up to 50%. And I forget there was something else there, whether a level or a 200 moving average. I forgot. I totally forgot what it was. But I saw confluence and I took the short, and I pretty much held it up until we started consolidating at the bottom over there. Because another thing you guys have to look at is the ADR. When we were down at the lows today, NASDAQ went 125% of average daily range over the past 20 days. So it's stretched to the downside.
Mm-hmm.
And it's consolidating. And it's at the bottom of the overnight lows. So I'm going to take a swing. If it throws a fastball and I miss it, strike out. Done. No big deal, right? But if it works, single, double, triple, home run, whatever it may be, who knows? But you have to know where you are. Otherwise, you can't execute.
What, when, why, how and who, and the where and when are answered for you.
Exactly. Exactly. It's our job to let you know, um, for us to know where we are. I actually have someone working on an indicator for me. I want like a little red box flashing on the screen when I'm in day trade mode. I have my scalper's hat on, whatever. Something blinking telling me you're at 100% of daily ADR. You're at 125% ADR. And I want it to get brighter and louder. He says it's pretty simple to do, but he hasn't done it yet. So a lot of times, just knowing that you're stretched 125%, 150%, and you're at a key level, take a swing. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to lose 15, 20 points? Big deal.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. And for everybody on the stream, I apologize. Again, there's an echo in my voice, but we're going to work on that because this isn't going to be the last time we have individuals on here, especially Vito and Jew and those type of things. So I'm going to get this worked out over the next few days and be back up and running this next week. Vito, for new traders or individuals that are struggling as traders, really want to do this. They really want to put the time and the work in. Where would you suggest they start?
I would do it on a smaller time frame. Maybe use an hourly candle. Yeah.
Yeah. We lost you there for a second. You said you start with an hourly candle.
I would start with an hourly candle and just fit that candle. And then look at the smaller time frames, whatever you like to look at, 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, and look for areas of structure in there. And just master the structure first. But I would do all this in sim. I don't understand why people even waste money, even on a $50 prop firm, if you still have to learn. Why are you doing that to yourself for? Just learn first. Once you become consistent, then, buy that $50 prop firm. See what it feels like with having money on the line. But at some point, you have to open up your own account because you're not gonna be able to hold moves too long, even on a day trade, because you got to deal with drawdown. That's murder.
So, in terms of what you're talking about there with the hourly chart, can you see my screen right now? Are you able to see it?
Yep.
Okay. Would you say something like?
Well, I still see the daily.
Oh, you only see the daily?
I think.
Yeah, it's on your chart.
This is a 60-minute here.
Is your screen share still displaying the right screen?
You
can see it on TikTok, just not on Discord.
Okay, so let me share my screen again because I think
you have to switch the screens. Yep.
I had an alert. So this should be the hourly. I had an alert that it was stopping, so he could see it but not see it. So this is
still the daily one.
Yeah, this is the daily here, but I'm going to bring the hourly over, and that didn't come over. So let's do it this way. Let's try this.
No, yeah, because I think you have it just single display on your screen share in Discord.
No, what it's doing is it's actually stopping the it's giving me an error. Because it's trying to save resources. I have a 5080 in my computer, which should be fine. But I have a better computer over behind me that I do my recording on. That I'm going to switch over this weekend to do my streaming on it as well. It's a 7950 with 64 gigs of RAM and a 5080 in it, and all sorts of stuff. Tiachi motherboard. Can you see the hourly chart on my screen now? Did it show up, or is it still the daily?
Yeah, it's still the daily chart.
That's not helpful then. Let's see here. Because I guess what I'm asking is, if you're looking at the hourly chart and just putting an hourly chart up, are you still looking at creating the areas in the hourly chart just like you would on the daily, but you just do it on the hourly chart and then you trade from your lower structure time frame within the context of those areas?
Yeah, I would definitely say do that, but that's just to practice and understand structure,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Because what happens when you get 2 or 3 red candles or 2 or 3 green candles? This is not going to work, right? So if you can identify the structure within the hourly candle and possibly catch a retracement or a breakout to continue lower, right? That's the trick.
Mhm.
So I would just look at it as a homework, as a practice.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I appreciate
That's
that.
all.
Same things.
No, I love it because if you can start to see, it's all about gaining confidence in your ability to read structure. Correct?
Yeah.
Because
If you can fit the 4 o'clock candle, hey, let me do it. Hold on a second. I'm sorry to cut you off. This might be a good example for a retracement. There.
I think also the error is coming from you might have accidentally turned on your camera, but Discord's not actually turning your camera on, which could possibly be causing an error from your screen share. Not sure.
it's saying your stream is still running. We've paused this preview. We paused this preview for. It's basically saying that we're pausing your stream share because you're streaming and we're saving you resources.
Interesting. It must just be a Discord issue.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, I fibbed that hourly candle. When it came back to the bottom using the fibs, it came back into the golden zone and pushed away from there, right? And if you could have used that as a long, and I'm looking at a 5-minute chart within that hourly. It made it all the way up to a complete 25% retracement. You can make a living getting 25% retracements. Again, it goes back to if you know how far you're stretched on the day, you pay attention to ADR on big days, eventually it's going to stop. We don't see too many trend days, like real trend days. You get maybe 2 or 3 a month. That's it.
Right.
You get a lot of distribution days, range bound days. So, but anyway, knowing how far you're stretched on the day, whether you like to use point of control, anchored volume profiles, whatever your strategy is, if you just take that, whatever time I told you to fib the candle, which was the 3 p.m. candle, you can see where it bottomed. And once it pulled out of that golden zone, it just ran. And then if you look left, there's also supply here in a smaller time frame. That's pretty much where it stopped at around 20 to 4. That's when it started to back off. But it was at 25%. It gave you a nice clean 25% retracement, that hourly candle.
What time did you put your fibs on? What bar on the hourly?
Go back to an hour. The 2 p.m. candle.
Okay.
Right? You see how it came? I'm looking at the hourly at 3 o'clock. It pretty much just pushed out of the golden zone.
Yeah.
Right? But that's also where it was consolidating at the low of the Globex. And we were stretched 125% in that area when it made that low.
Mm-hmm.
So it's educated guess, right? That's all it is.
Absolutely. And that's really kind of the so in my viewpoint, in a lot of ways, trading is kind of like an art. There's an art form to finding your structure. What you're, like you said, point of controls, market profiling, volume, just basically rejection areas that the market has rejected from before, and just finding those areas, and then finding something that you can be consistent with, that you see that works over time through practice, and then you apply that to other time frames to get other areas, and you're just constantly trading in and out of those areas as you start getting more comfortable. Is that kind of would you say that's kind of the description of trader development?
Yeah, that's you have to understand what's happening structurally on the chart. Yeah, absolutely, of course. You can do it on a small time frame, and once you master that, you just move up the time frames.
Mm-hmm.
That's all, right?
Absolutely.
You got to start somewhere, and you got to start with something, and understanding, supply and demand, double tops, double bottoms. More than that, I wouldn't go into candle structure. Obviously, you know what a rejection candle looks like, and if you have that previous hours range fibs, and you're looking at a 5-minute time frame, and you throw an anchored VWAP on there, you know where all the fib retracements are. Hopefully, you're in a key area also, and you just put it all together. That's it. I know it sounds like a lot, but then once you start doing it, it just makes sense.
Well, and I really wouldn't even say that it's a lot by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's a lot that a lot of traders will be looking at all kinds of things and all kinds of indicators and all of this other information that they don't even necessarily know what these indicators are actually, how they're created or what they're actually doing. I think that is a lot comparatively to what you're describing.
Right. And just to give you an idea of the previous hourly candle, by having the other one fibbed, that 1 hour gave about 80 points.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Yep.
if you captured half of it, whatever, it doesn't make a difference.
Absolutely.
You're not looking to make $1 million. You learn you're trying to learn how to figure this out, how to crack the code. That's it. Don't worry about the money. If you figure this out, the money's going to come.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about the money. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about the money.
Now, when you talk about the money and the money will come and those type of things, a lot of individuals will focus on like risk reward ratio and those type of things. And I know we've talked about this. What can you tell the audience about what you think about risk reward ratio? Why you think that way, and if it's different, why? Why do you look at it differently?
Well, if you took the swing short on Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, you're not really looking at that. You just wanted to keep clearing the next level and continuing in your direction. As soon as it gets hung up in an area and becomes obvious that it's bound top or bottom, you just get out. But as you can see, from Sunday up until today, you're just looking at the daily time frame chart, like you're looking at a 5-minute chart, you never would have gotten out.
Mm-hmm.
You just wouldn't have gotten out.
Mm-hmm.
It just kept looking like it's going to break down. It's going to break down lower. All right, this is the retracement. Look at the daily candle. Yeah, this is definitely a retracement. It's just that simple.
I love how you say that. It's just that simple. And it's like that's your mantra. And it's so funny because for you it is that simple, right? How did it get to become that simple? What did you do repetitively, if there was something that made it that simple for you?
There are also strategies that are taught, right? That have been around for a long time. And one of them is I'm telling you guys now, the overnight high and the overnight low is a general area. Okay. If you get any type of confluence at the top and bottom of the Globex, that's where you're not fiddling in the middle, right? You're going to get the best reaction. So if you make it up to the top of the Globex and it's lined up with something, I don't know, a big yearly level, and it's obviously going to come crashing back down, there's your confluence, you take it. So why would you sacrifice going from the top all the way back down to the bottom? You wouldn't.
Makes sense.
Just you just keep taking it up until it finds the spot where like usually about 12 o'clock where everything goes sideways and nothing happens till 2 o'clock. That's where you take your money and go. All right, this trade's over. Let's see what it wants to do next. You can't be looking at every tick, every pimple on every candle. Just look at it as an area. Where are we now? Where are we going to?
That makes sense.
If I may add on to that, it really is that simple. What I try to teach to the new generation of traders, but a lot of them just don't have ears to hear nor eyes to see. They just don't want to learn. They just want to draw stuff on their charts and think their magical levels are going to make them profitable. I help teach people how to study the auction and study order flow and just understand where they are at on the chart when it comes to the higher time frames, just like how Vito was explaining, looking at that, higher time frames, the hourly candle, understanding structure and knowing where you're at on the chart, understanding the auction and what's happening with, how aggressive buyers are, how aggressive sellers are, or passive sellers and passive buyers, just having these key levels of interest that you see when you're seeing that aggressive buyers are not being rewarded after trying to make an aggressive push, from those, for example, overnight highs and lows. It gives you a lot of context, and it's just like simply like what Vito says, if you just don't execute, that's just pretty much on you.
Vito, what do you think about that?
No, absolutely. Once you get good at doing that hourly exercise, then move it up to a 4-hour and start looking at the 15-minute time frame for executions. And then before you realize it, you're gonna be like, "Wow, you don't tell me what time frame this chart is. You could be anywhere from a yearly time frame down to a 1 minute, right? It doesn't matter. You're at a level. You're at a level.
Absolutely.
And you start expanding your horizon, but you have to know where you are. Always look bigger. I mean, a daily time frame just to get over an overview should be good enough, right? Don't be afraid to look at a weekly and a monthly.
Yeah.
You'll see something totally different. And without being offensive to anyone here, when I hear FBGs and I hear the word ICT, I just want to throw up. I swear to God. I swear to God.
Me too, man. Me too.
Yeah, man. Over time, when it's over and done for you, all those strategies, you realize once you're out of money that the whole time you were liquidity using these strategies. That's all you were.
Mm-hmm.
But early on, when I thought things were clicking for me, I got 2 monstrous trades on my own under the wing of somebody. You know what he told me? "Hey kid, a broken clock is right twice a day. Don't worry, let's see what you can do tomorrow." Like, fuck you. Let's see what you can do tomorrow. Can you do it again? Can you do it again? You know what I mean?
I love that.
Don't come to me with one good day. Start stringing good weeks, good months, good years. It's all about consistency. That's all it is.
Interesting.
Right?
That's so true, though. A broken clock is still right twice a day.
Yeah,
That's what he
I love
told me.
that. I'm gonna start using that analogy.
I walked away with my head up my ass when he told me that. Like, damn, these people don't give a shit. They don't care.
But what did you actually learn from that experience?
You got to be repetitive. It's all about consistency. If you're having a bad day, and it all depends on your account size. So let's use that we're all trading $1,000, and now you're down like 500. You got to stop. Come back tomorrow, right? Like, what are you doing? You know how many times I made it back home by 10 o'clock? Just started out shitty and I just didn't feel it. I went home. That's all. I'll come back tomorrow. That'll get you more respect than anything else.
The Dow Theory, the book that you were talking about, is that by Robert Rea?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Well, I just picked up a copy of it.
Yeah, just read the book. It's got a lot of parts and stuff in there, but you'll see nothing has changed from prohibition days. The same thing.
Do you do anything in the context of, you know, like the bigger picture of the economics of this country or the world or anything like that? Do you look at any of that stuff, or you just really just focus on your trading and the charts in front of you, and you just don't care about the rest of the big picture?
Okay, this was told to me by a real old timer. When it comes to news just makes price move to the next level quicker than if there wasn't any news. So just wait for the reaction. You're either going to get the breakout continuation or you're going to get the big reversal. That's it.
Yeah.
And he was so right. Don't care. Just be aware there's news coming out so you don't get caught with your pants down, right? You got to be aware of it.
Yeah.
But just wait for the reaction. Let it show its hand.
And what I've noticed in my own trading is in some of your thinner markets or some of your other markets, like for example, heating oil, when there's news, you can hit some pretty big slippage through your stops. But in the indices, I traded. I got caught in a trade, and luckily I was short. But in the 2010 flash crash, I was in a trade at that time, and unfortunately I didn't have the wherewithal to just trail my stop. I saw the move, it spooked me, and I just got out. I made like 50 points in the ES in like a matter of just a minute, and I was just like, oh my god! So I just got out. You know, I should have held it. I held it, and I would have been up like $8,000 on my one little contract. In the ES, that's pretty good.
But let me just interrupt you 1 second. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You got out because you didn't know where you were. But go ahead.
100%.
Yep,
100%.
that's the reason why you got out.
And even using market profile and knowing where I'm at in the context of developing value or a custom volume profile drawing, I've never been in the place where I can say in the markets, I know exactly where I'm at.
Right.
I've never been there.
The problem with that, just I don't want to put it in this group, but it kind of falls into it. Volume profile, RSI, MACD, stochastic. I would say volume profile is the best one, knowing where the point of control is. If you know how to set up the anchored ones, even on a daily, or a couple hours range, and just knowing where the point of control is, and you break that time down, you're going to see whether there's support there or resistance there or not. You know, if there is, then you're going to pay attention to it. If there isn't, you're just going to be like, okay, it's going to break it. That's it.
And it's so funny.
If there's nothing there but the point of control, that's my attitude. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay, I'll make less.
And it's so funny because what you just mentioned there is something that I thought about, but I didn't actually connect it until you just said it. You look at a stochastic oscillator. It's an oscillation. It goes, overbought, oversold. It's the same exact thing that you're looking at trying to do when it comes to market profiling. Especially if you're looking for, unfair highs, unfair lows. You're looking for low volume nodes or anything along those lines where magnetic price or price to move away from a particular area to move back into value. You're still anticipating the market to be an oscillation.
Yeah, and I'm sure today on a 15-minute chart, the value area low kept going lower and lower and lower, right?
Well, of course.
Okay, so that's my point. It can tell you you're oversold and just keep going. You know, the only thing that will contradict that and contradict moving averages on order flow on whatever time frame you want to use for execution is a key level. If it has to complete this move, it's going to go to where it needs to go, whether it's a monthly, quarterly, yearly, or weekly, whatever. You know, it's structure high, like I pointed out for Sunday night. You know, it's stalling there. Okay, I'm out. but you just need to know.
So one of the things that you are offering is a mentorship program for individuals. What does that look like? If an individual is interested in getting into your mentorship program, what does that look like?
I like to have a conversation with somebody rather than just take their money. Hey, we have to be a click, kind of want to understand why you're doing it. You have been doing it. You have been successful. What you've been doing, and see if they're open for change. That's the hardest part.
Absolutely. Now, in that context, being open to change. I mean, the markets are constantly changing environments all the time, right? We're in consolidation periods. We're in trends. We're in wider consolidation periods or balance or value, whatever you want to call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
When a trader gets stuck into a mindset, and they're actually just kind of stuck into a mindset, do you think that makes it also difficult for them to shift in terms of market condition?
Oh, as soon as you have a bias, you lost the trade. Never have a bias, ever. It's going to come down here and go long, or it's going to do this over here. Well, let it show you. They can show you on a 2-minute chart or 1-minute chart for entry, but after that, I'm not staring at a 1-minute chart anymore because you're going to see every pimple on the move of this trade you just got into. But if you're looking at a 15 or 30 or an hourly, you're going to be a lot calmer, right? If you anticipate where it should go next.
Absolutely. Now,
Right.
trading. Go ahead, Jude. Sorry about that.
No, I just wanted to quickly say, I love that he said that. It's just every word, it literally just resonates. And I preach the same thing, or I try to teach, but some people they're just stubborn. They don't want change. They feel like, they might have learned a couple retail recycled garbage concepts and they made a few grand, or maybe they barely just passed 5 figures, and they just have this crazy ego. And, I let people be their own downfall, because I try to help people as much as I can. I don't charge people, I just give people my free time just because I do it for the love of the game. I like to see people thrive. I like to help elevate people if possible. But it's just some people they're just lost, and it's like the blind leading the blind. But at the end of the day, I just remind myself, if they don't want to learn, it's more liquidity for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that what you think of most retail traders in terms of their capabilities of trading? They're pretty much just liquidity, because that's their money's going to go to you on the opposite side of the trade, because they're probably going to be wrong and you're probably going to be right?
Yeah. They've gotten addicted to donating to the markets. What I mean by that is just buying prop firms because they're so cheap, and they feel like, oh, I have $2,000 to work with $100 account. Let me just go ahead and full port it. And, if I pass the account in one trade, then great. If I don't, then I'll just buy another one. And it's just kind of like they end up buying 20 in one day and then blowing them all in the same day. And so now you just donated more money to the markets. You didn't learn a single thing.
Well, I hear you, but when you're looking at the prop accounts, though, those are simulated accounts. And those accounts aren't, those trades aren't hitting the actual order book. So you're not providing any liquidity there at all. Anyhow, so there's no liquidity being added from the prop firms.
Right. Yeah.
Somebody's liquidity.
Well, the liquidity is actually the fee that you're paying for an evaluation, right? That's the liquidity, and of course that's going to the prop firm, because they're not going to have to pay that out. They're paying that out to maybe 10-12% of individuals that come to them and purchase these prop accounts, and then they're paying out a few $1,000s. Let's say you have 1,000 people, and only 10% of them are actually making any form of money. So you have 100 of them are making money. Let's say that and the other 900 aren't. Well, the other 900 are paying you $90,000 and you're paying out $10,000.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good business model.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
That's why there's so many of them around.
Yeah.
It also makes everyone lose the value of money. They're trading like a game, right, Joe?
Yeah. I'm glad that you said. I was just getting ready to say that they treat trading like it's a side hustle, and I say this every day. I'm like, if you treat trading like a side hustle or it's just some little casino or a get rich quick scheme, you're just not gonna make it. I don't know what to tell you. You're gonna get the exact results you're looking for. But I mean, if you are open to change, like Vito said, and not just being a one-trick pony and just taking one strategy and just running with it. If you're in it for the long haul and you actually want to learn, you'll get those type of results. It takes time.
Yep, absolutely. And in my own trading, I've been at this for multiple years. I had periods of very good success, but then I also had periods of giving a lot of that back. In that context, finding the consistency to do this full time, like you're doing, Vito, it sounds like what you're doing as well, Jew. That's been that's been the unicorn that I've been looking for that I haven't been able to find. For an individual like me, I took my first trade in '98. I traded full time from '98 to 2001, then again from 2008 to 2019. And in that context, I was still doing some other things to generate some revenue because I would do well, but not well enough to actually be able to just put my hat up and say, okay, you know what? I'm a full-time profitable trader. What would you say to individuals like me that's been at this game for a while that haven't been able to find that consistency over the years? What would you suggest to them that they do or adjust or see differently in order to be able to turn that corner?
I would say there's a few things I'm gonna fall back on what Vito says because I preach it every day. It's just about the consistency. It's understanding that you're gonna take some losses. It's about how you embrace those losses. A lot of people take losses and they don't study them. Same thing that goes for the wins. When you make money, you should be heavily studying it so you can be consistent and make it repetitive. Trading should be boring. It doesn't have to be super complex or super crazy, but you just have to be consistent and repetitive. You have a system. You have a way that you view the markets through a certain lens. All you have to do is just recreate that same pattern. And when it comes down to it, I tell traders that it's a lot of the time traders think it's their psychology or a feeling based trading, or when they come up with a bias. If we come down to this level of this fib retracement, I'm just immediately in longs. It really has no real logic behind it. They're just betting on hopes and dreams at that point. And falling back to what I mentioned earlier about studying the auction, like I tell people, you're studying the minds of the investors. If you know where you're at in structure, higher time frame wise, and when you drop down to a lower time frame for execution, looking at it intraday, when you see certain levels of interest being held, respected, certain aggressive buyers or sellers come into the market, and you see certain traps form, these buyers or sellers are not being rewarded, it gives you a lot of context. And some people, take losses and then they start to discourage themselves. They start to not trust their system. They start to strategy hop. It's just all about consistency. You gotta learn from them losses. I tell people that they take their L's in the wrong way. They take their L's as losses and then they don't learn from them. When you take a loss, you need to learn what went wrong, learn what you could have done better, and so you can continuously improve. There's always room for improvement.
Vito?
I agree.
And I also took my first trade in 2019. I've been trading since before I graduated the 8th grade.
Wow.
Nice.
What got you into trading in middle school? Middle school, I didn't even know what my ass was comparatively to my face. How were you trading in middle school?
So I've always just been drawn to numbers and math. I've always came out on top of my math class at every single grade level. And I just, I was always drawn to numbers and making money as well. Eventually, I stumbled upon to TradingView, and was just very intrigued at what I was looking at. And I just started doing my own due diligence, just started researching. I was just very intrigued by the charts. And it was just kind of like a butterfly effect from there. I just kept learning. I kept studying from others, um, even meeting some investors that worked on the floor themselves back when I did live in New York. And then eventually, I'm now in Minnesota right now. But yeah, just, taking, it's just honestly what my generation does not understand, the OGs, man. You gotta listen to the OGs. Take their information and not just run with it like Vito said, but take it with a grain of salt. Do your own due diligence and see what works, see what doesn't work. It's like we gotta take this knowledge that our OGs are preserving and make it flourish. We can't let this stuff die out. This is exactly what the people at the top want to do. They want to suppress the young generation. They don't want us to work together with the OGs. Man, my whole life, I've been so inspired by the OGs. Man, whenever the OGs start talking, I shut up immediately and I'm just all ears. I don't care what it is. They could be telling me that they just went to the store and got a honey bun. I could care less. I'm intrigued. What you got to tell me, OG?
Yep, I was the same way. That's what I did. You show someone you want to learn, 9 out of 10 people don't want to show you, right? As long as you're a likable person.
Yeah. And a lot of new gen traders, they'll see me calling out certain trades or calling out certain levels, letting them know what I feel and what I think about the market, and just absolutely making huge moves and huge plays. And people think I'm an insider or just I got some crazy levels that they want me to share with them. And I let these people know, man. I've took a lot of losses and I've had some crazy wins, but it's just about just being repetitive. It's about being consistent, and you just got to trust yourself. It's just the system is definitely rigged against you, um, and yeah, when it comes down to the fundamental side, um, you just got to keep going at it. Can't give up. The only ones who fail are the ones who give up. So I say that all the time.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point, right? Because we can all say, they, and the system is rigged against and these other things, right? But how is it rigged against us?
Because it's rigged from all the. I'm gonna throw media in here in this topic. Media propaganda that's just spread. People are fed the same just recycled garbage that other people, for example, like back to what Vito said earlier, ICT, just taking retail, recycled concepts and then selling them off. And a lot of these new gen traders, they hear about ICT. He already has some exposure. They learn these concepts. It's not anything that's gonna actually prove or make you any type of money in the markets. You may feel like you're actually progressing because you never learned nothing about the markets. You're hearing about fair value gaps and order blocks and all type of different stuff. And consequential encroachment is just like it sounds complex. It sounds like you're really learning some really scientifical stuff. But it's just all like consequential encroachment is just equilibrium. It's just the midpoint. Why can't we just say the equilibrium? We have to give it a very complex name. And so it's just, these people are just, they feel like they're learning something and they're not. And then it keeps them in a cycle and then it just spreads like wildfire. Could it be like, hey, I'm really learning something, made a little bit of money on my prop firm with ICT concepts, man, you should learn this too. And it's like a domino effect. And so, and also with the media, my generation, they're all over the media. And when they see other traders making money, they compare their journey to others, and it creates a whole psychological problem in their brain, and they don't know how to break the cycle.
Yeah, I was impressed today. I was bored this morning because nothing for me to do. Price is not coming to where I want it to come. So I'm going through TikTok, and that guy Jay Dunn was on, and I don't think he took one trade all day. He got there late, and he just didn't like the price action at that point, and he went the whole day without taking a trade. Those are the good days. He probably didn't feel it, and he didn't take a trade.
Now who's Jay
A lot of
Dunn?
people don't have that mentality. Like, why would you take something that's risky? Why would you do that?
Right.
Well, I think a lot of traders take positions that a professional like you would say is risky, but they don't see the risk in it because they don't know where they're at.
Right.
And so
Right.
they're
But also plays a factor. Oh, sorry to cut you off.
oh no, you please go ahead.
So what also plays a factor into that, they don't know where they are and don't truly understand risks. And I'm going to fall back to what Vito said because I say it all day. It's understanding when you have these certain key levels of interest in the market. You know when you take a trade and you're wrong, you don't want to be wrong a lot. Like you don't want to have a massive stop loss and then price just blows through it. You want to be wrong quick, wrong little. And when you do take those winning trades, you want to just let them ride, let them expand, try to capitalize on as much as you can. But when I'm wrong about a trade, I'm making sure that I'm not entering 100, 200 trades on a 1 minute, 5 minute time frame within an hour span. Maybe 1 to 2 max trades a day at certain strong open interest levels that I know are seeing good reactions off of. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if I'm right, capitalize as much as you can.
I would like to add something to that. I've seen this time and time again. They're looking at a small time frame. They get into a short. It goes 15, 20 points in their way, then all of a sudden takes them out. Goes up, take another short, same thing, takes them out. They do it 2, 3 times. They didn't realize it. They were buying the dips. They were selling the dips. It's just that simple. You're shorting a dip. It's a quick retracement.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a true sniper, you do something like that with 30 fucking micros on there. Boom, catch it, you're done for the week. Right?
Absolutely. And
That's another thing. If Jew makes a trade, he makes 5,000. You take a trade, you took 500. Okay? I took a trade, I made 50,000. I'm putting myself on top, I'm sorry. But it's the same exact trade. It all depends on the size of your account and what your risk is. That's all.
yeah.
That's it. That is it.
So interesting. This whole conversation, I've learned a significant amount of information from this conversation.
You need a chalkboard.
What's that?
You need a chalkboard.
I do need a chalkboard. I've 100% been taking notes. So I have a piece of paper here next to me that's been my chalkboard as we've been talking. And I bought a new book. So we got that too. See, you can teach old dogs new tricks sometimes. Anything else that you want to add, Vito, that you think that inspiring or struggling traders you would like to pass on a piece of information to them to help them along their path, the ones that are struggling? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, something as simple as marking off your overnight highs and overnight lows and play the extremes. And watch that. You can't look at it for 2, 3 days. You got to back test it. You got to watch it for a month or two, right? And you'll pick up on something. There's numerous things you can do, but sometimes it's something like I said, practice with the hourly candle. See what the range is. See if you can catch something on a 5 or a 15. And again, if you capture 25%, 30% of that hourly candle retracement, that's a good trade. You should be happy.
Absolutely.
You know,
Jew?
if that trade only brings you $300, that's because that's the size account you have. Without realizing that could have been 10% of your account.
Mhm. Absolutely.
That's a very good. That's a very good return.
Yeah.
The new generation does not look at it like that, right, Drew?
And I try to help them, and being trying to be a prime example for my generation. And I mean, most of these traders, I've yet to meet a trader in my generation that's traded longer than me. And I mean, they all just mostly trade ICT, ICC, just all these retail concepts that make you throw up and laugh. But I just it's until my generation drops the ego and is open to change, they won't figure it out. Um, they have a huge problem
Get ready.
with embracing the
You're
unknown,
leaving right now?
understanding that
Can you come in 5 minutes?
the
Is it raining?
unknown, or let's say the fear of the unknown, when they find that it seemed like it worked, but they now starting to struggle, and then they start to doubt themselves and concerned. They don't want to switch off of it because they're scared of change, just like Vito was saying. And it's a struggle. It's a real problem. Um,
Yep.
People deal with a lot of sinful nature, just sloth, not wanting to actually put in the work, look at the charts, like Vito said, back test it for a month, and pick up onto something. They don't. My generation, they don't like getting their hands dirty no more. They don't know what true work looks like. They don't know what being isolated and grinding and studying. They don't know what that really looks like. And a lot of people, when they meet me, they say, I got such an old soul, and I talk very mature, and I seem very mature for my age. I've only hung around OGs. I don't want to hang around somebody if they're not an OG. I don't. I barely have any people in my small circle that are around my age. I only network. I only talk to OGs because they're the only people that could really teach me something. Even though my generation, they quote unquote may be super bright, creative, and all that extra good stuff, but it's nothing like getting some knowledge from the OGs and seeing it thrive in person and then putting it to work yourself. I'm gonna forever appreciate all my OGs that I've learned from, and I appreciate them for disciplining me and just showing me what was real and just keeping it honest.
Yeah. Whenever you have an issue and you just don't know what's going wrong, go into the bathroom and have a conversation in the mirror. You're gonna see the problem. You just weren't paying attention. And when you get to the point where you realize what your mistakes were, there's your first step in the right direction. Once you actually pick up on it and realize you were just wrong because of A, B, or C, and move on. Okay, instead of doing the same thing over and over and over. Oh my God.
Gentlemen, I need to cut that off there. I've got a couple things that I need to go do. That my stepson is actually having his first soccer game this year. For this year, he's a senior high school, and I want to go attend that. And they're getting ready to go. I lost track of time.
Yeah.
Can we pick this up tomorrow or a little bit later in the week, Jew? Is there some time in the next couple of days that you can maybe help me work out the sound issues here? So, because
anytime that you need me, I'm a service to you. That's my main purpose on this earth, and this is why my Lord and Savior put me here, is just to serve others and help others thrive. So any way I can help you out, just hit me up. We'll set up a time, and we'll get it up working.
You guys are so amazing. I don't know how I attracted such amazing individuals in this stream, but my goodness, if this is as much as I get out of this, is be able to have these conversations with individuals like you and those type of things. Both of you, not just you as in one individual. This has been a highly successful project for me. Highly successful. I want to thank both of you very much for coming on here. I want to thank both of you for just this conversation. Vito, for your constant push not push as in you're forcing me to do something. Push as in the encouragement. Really appreciate you, because I don't know if I would have been here today having this conversation with you too if it wasn't for you, Vito. So thank you so much for being that light at the end of my tunnel.
Yeah, buddy.
And I think it was a very successful stream because we got generations of different traders. I'm a new gen trader, but I've been trading for a while now, almost 8 years in November, and you guys have been trading for a lot longer. So it's good that we can hope this network and talk.
See if you guys could build something out of this. I would love to hang out here and chat with you guys.
Yeah, love to be here and chatting with you. I mean, and Vito, I'm with you. I want to be sitting in front of the charts between 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. and that's all I do. That's my goal. That's what I'm striving for in this context. I love this. I love everything about trading. And the primary thing that I love about trading is for me, it's the exercise of self-control. And I love that. And for whatever reason, the markets is one of those things that it just loves to trigger my subconscious processing. And my subconscious processing is absolutely the worst trader that's ever walked this planet, ever. The worst trader. I could have 100 trades that have 100 expense trades if my subconscious programming is leading the way. I mean, seriously, I could have 100 losing trades out of 100 trades if I'm sitting there and obsessing on whatever it is that my subconscious conditioning is obsessed with. It's absolutely terrible and asinine. But for me, it's about. It's not about controlling the uncontrollable market of the uncontrollable nature of the markets. It's about me sitting here controlling the uncontrollable internal nature that is my natural state. And it's funny because the only times that I've ever actually felt whole inside were the times that I aligned my actions to positive results in my trading. And I'm not talking about positive results in making money, positive results in following my methodology. That's my path. That's why I've been in this industry for as long as I have been, to get to that point. Kind of crazy, huh?
Just to share my got stuff to do, but I plan to be the youngest and wealthiest investor in history. And whenever I see new traders or I see people that are genuinely thirsty and like just striving and just hungry for knowledge and they want to learn, they want to grow, I see myself when I first started. And that's why I just give people my time for free. I help people, I bestow them some knowledge. I'm like, hey, you study this, get back to me. They show me that they can retain that information. They show me that they're going to put the time in to learn it. That shows me that they want it. And so I will work with you. But if you have an ego, if you feel like you can just do whatever you want, it's just not going to work out.
Well, I could show you my track record of when I try to go in and do whatever I want.
And, my main goal is just, it's not a far-fetched idea for this world to be a better place. We should be able to gather the whole neighborhood, build things together, have a cookout. Nobody should be on the streets. Nobody should be homeless. There shouldn't be no drugs on the streets. The world should be in perfect harmony. And within my lifetime, that I will achieve that goal because nothing's going to stop me. And it's just, we have an opportunity to make this world a better place, especially for the future generations. So I'm thinking millennials ahead. And so I'm going to do, I do what it takes. That's my mojo. I say that all the time. I do what it takes. And so I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this world a better place.
Jay, we need to sit down and talk. Definitely. Vito? Yeah, you're coming along this journey too. You're bored. You need something to do.
I'm just waiting for dinner right now. Still cooking. I'm gonna kill her.
All right, gentlemen, I gotta get out of here before I get myself in trouble. Thank you very much. I really truly appreciate these conversations. Really truly appreciate both of you. And I look forward to future conversations to come. We're gonna get these issues worked out with the bugs. We had a lot of interest in the stream today. We're gonna get these bugs worked out, and the interest is going to continue. We did lose a lot of individuals because of technological difficulties, but we're gonna fix that, and we're gonna continue growing. What's that?
Where if you could fix a TikTok, it'll be easier for me to speak and share my screen if I need to show you something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that, but I know a lot of people have it. I just click the the button to come up.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much.
Guys with the
All right, take care.
All right, absolutely. Thank you.